Okay, hello everybody. This is Math 8, Lesson 22, Functions. Your essential question is, what is a function? Provide examples of a set of ordered pairs and of a graph that are functions. You'll see as we go through this that there are two different tests for a function, so show me one that passes each test. Okay, so a function. If you have a graph will pass the vertical line test if it's a function. We'll get into what the vertical line test is in just a minute. If you're dealing with ordered pairs, each x has only one y. It has to pass what I call the birthday test. Okay, let's take a look at what those tests are and how they work. Okay, so the vertical line test for functions. No vertical line can intersect or cross the graph more than one time for it to be a function. So no vertical line can intersect or cross the graph more than one time if it's going to be a function. So let's take a look at this first graph, and we're going to go ahead and take your pencil and draw this on your paper real quickly, just real quickly, and then draw a vertical line through the graph. So it's almost like the blue graph is like think of it as like being electrified. And so if you draw this line through, bzz, it hits bzz, 2 times. So right away, this is not a function. And the reason why is if you think about this point and this point, they're both going to have the same x coordinate, and then they have two different y coordinates. In a function, each x, like let's say maybe the x would be like -4 or something like that. So each x can only be matched up with one y value. So in this case, both of these points have the same x value, but with two different y values. That's why it's not a function. So let's put down that this is not a function. It fails the vertical line test. Let's look at another one. Okay, so let's see, is this a function? Go ahead and quickly draw this, and then start doing your vertical lines. Bzz, hits once, 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 bzz, hits once. So every vertical line we could draw would only hit this function once. That means every x has only one y to go with it, so this is a function. Go ahead and label that as a function. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's see, go ahead and draw this quickly, and then do your vertical line test. Bzz, hits once, bzz, 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 once. Every vertical line we could draw through the graph only hits once, so it's a function. Okay, so that's the vertical line test. Okay, so next we have a little bit of vocabulary. Your domain is your set of x values, and your range is your set of y values. These are just some general terms that we use when talking about functions. So if we have a set of ordered pairs, like we do here in example 4, 5, 2, 8, 3, and 7, 5, let's first go ahead and label those with x's and y's. That's an x, that's a y, that's an x, that's a y, that's an x, that's a y. And now we can list our domain. I'm going to make some little set braces here. So you want to list those domain values. Make sure you don't repeat any if there are any that repeat. So 5 is an x value, 8 is an x value, and 7 is an x value. That's our domain. For our range, those are our set of y values. So 2 is a y value, 3 is a y value, and 5 is a y value in this set. Okay, that's it for domain and range. Okay, so next let's talk about the birthday test. So I'm giving you a set of ordered pairs that are actually people and their birthdays. So there's me, Mrs. Valentine, on April 5th, TJ on February 2nd, Anne on May 3rd. So again, I'm going to go ahead and label each X and each Y. So I'm an X, my birthday's a Y. TJ's an X, his birthday's a Y. Ann's an X, her birthday's a Y. So the domain is Mrs. Valentine, TJ, and Ann. Those three people make up the domain. And the range is April 5th, February 2nd, and May 3rd. And now we're going to use the ordered pairs to map the domain to the range value that it goes with. So Mrs. Valentine maps to April, TJ maps to February 2nd, Ann maps to May. So as you look at all three of the values in the domain, each of the people only has one birthday. What we're really having here is each of the X's has only one Y. So this is a function. So when you think about it, you can only have one birthday, right? Think about it for a minute. Oh yeah, only one birthday. Let's look at the next one. So this is very, very similar. You have Mrs. Valentine April 5th, TJ February 2nd, Ann May 3rd, and Mrs. Valentine January 1st. So again, let's go ahead and label these with X and Y, X and Y, X and Y, X and Y. So our domain is Mrs. Valentine, TJ, Ann, and then my name is listed again here, but do not list it on the domain list because I'm already there. You want to list your domain without any repeats. That's really, really important. Okay, next for the range, we have April 5th, February 2nd, May 3rd, and January 1st. Let's use the ordered pairs to map this. So Mrs. Valentine goes to April 5th, TJ goes to February 2nd, Ann goes to May 3rd, and then Mrs. Valentine goes to January 1st. Okay, wait a minute. I have two birthdays. That's impossible. What's really happening there is you have this X value, me, is being matched with two different Y values. And that can't happen in a function. So this is not a function. Okay, let's try another one. Now let's use those ideas from the birthday test for just number lists, where you just have numbers in your ordered pairs. So we're going to use the birthday test to see if this relation is a function. So I'm going to go again and just label X and Y, X and Y, X and Y, X and Y. And now let's make our domain list. Remember not to repeat any values, just in case. So our domain is 2, 4, -3, and 6. Now let's list our range. Our range is 5, -1, 7, and then 5 is listed again. Do not list it a second time. You only want to list it just the one time. Okay. Once it's on the list, it's covered. Alright, so we have 2 maps to 5, 4 maps to -1, -3 maps to 7, and 6 maps to 5. So think to yourself for a minute, is this a function? Most people in class said yes I'm sorry, most people in class said no it isn't, and they were wrong. It is a function because 2 has just one birthday, 4 has one birthday, -3 has one birthday, and 6 has one birthday. So everybody has one birthday. That makes this a function. It's okay if 2 and 6 both have the same birthday. You and another person can have the same birthday, so that's totally okay, and that's okay in this function. But think of the X's as the people and the range as the birthdays. Let's look at one last one. So we have 3, 8, 6, -4, 3, -1. That's X, that's Y, that's X, that's Y, that's X, that's Y. When we list our domain, we have 3, 6, and oops, there's 3 again. Do not list it again. And then for our range, we have 8, -4, and -1. So let's go ahead and map this. 3 goes to 8, 6 goes to -4, and 3 goes to -1. So is this a function? The answer to this one is no, this is not a function. Why? Because 3 has 2 birthdays. So not a function. Okay, so that is how you determine whether you have a function. You either use the birthday test, like we did right here, when you have sets of coordinates, or you use the vertical line test when you have a graph. Okay, bye-bye.